that's me. I just hit pause for a second, Mia. But my children do live out of the state of Maryland. One lives in Texas and one in Illinois. And then my mom is in Florida. And I think for me, that is one of the most unsettling things for me. Otherwise, like, I'm fine from working from home. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with slowing the pace down. It's my mom and my children that that gives me, pause sometimes and makes me feel uncomfortable and uneasy with this. But I continue to pray and continue to find my center, getting myself centered and making sure that I'm well, so that as I'm well, then I can uplift others to be well as well. I also know folks that have been hit by this virus. And so I just want to leave space for, to share that we acknowledge what's going on. We're thankful for the people who are going out there every day and putting themselves on the line to protect us, and to protect the other people who are coming in, especially our medical professionals, our law enforcement folks, everyone right now. So I just wanted to send a shout out to all of you. We may have had some Facebook issues, but that's okay. We're going to keep it rolling. So Mia, tell me about how this time has affected you. You're a realtor here in Maryland, one of the best realtors in Maryland, so I understand. And you're the president of a chapter, a women's association chapter. And so I want to know, how has this affected you, maybe your family, and your work?
So work has been challenging in that, I've worked really hard to have I call it my recipe for success.
Okay.
How I sell a home and how I deal with my buyers. And so everything has changed. I can't do some of the things that were previously my best practices and that got me the best outcomes and results.
Mm-hmm.
So, I still have to accomplish the same things. I just have to change how I do them.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me took a couple of weeks of, okay, so how do I give someone the experience of being in a home enough that they can know that this is a contender for me? Because I can't have people going through homes just, it's got to be streamlined and narrowed down as a protection for the buyer and a protection for the seller.
Mm-hmm.
So I made some adjustments so that my clients on both sides are protected.
Mm-hmm.
The homes are getting marketed in unique and different ways. So it's still real estate, it's just done differently.
It's done differently, yeah.
I've streamlined. I don't bring my stagers with me. I've had to protect them, even if they're like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, real estate has been deemed an essential profession, because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
People have to have a place to live. So
that's right.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Shelter at home if you don't have.
So real estate is essential because people have to have a place to live. Huh. Wow.
So it's not business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to do my business. The families that I promised that I would help them move, especially my military families, they still have to go. So we'll do it. We'll do it differently. So it's not business as usual, but it's business, and business has to continue.
Okay. So wow.
Work is really, it's coming along well.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 listings that are going to go active on Tuesday. We're forging ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And for our ABWA chapter, it's really staying in touch with each other and letting everybody feel. Everybody feels things very differently because different things impact you with this.
Yeah.
When it first started,
Mia, can I stop you for a second? I love what you just said. Letting everybody feel. What does that look like? To let people feel.
I think it was kind of an aha moment for me, because I was like, I put one foot in front of the other, keep going, do what I have to do. And I went to the grocery store, and the rationing, the signs, the desperation in people.
Yes.
I was standing in line and I was crying.
Wow.
Just calmly, but tears are streaming down my face.
Wow.
And it was like I got out and got home to my family and everything was good. And then the next time I went, the same thing happened. And I'm like, what is up with me? And I
Right.
was like, these are, I was like, oh, these are feelings.
These are feelings. We get to have them, right?
Right. I had a big case of the feels.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to rise to the challenge. We train our whole lives to deal with adversity.
Mm-hmm.
So when it happens, what do we do?
Right.
So for me, it was like, this is just an opportunity to authenticate what I believe in. And
Yeah.
I always say this. So this is, I have to navigate the grocery store.
Right.
How do I do this better?
Mm-hmm.
And so I put my little earbuds in and I listen to music and I shop. And that is how I get through that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everybody's having their feelings. So it's talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's letting people tell you, this is what strikes me. This is what makes me uncomfortable about this.
Right.
And we have to really support each other and talk about it because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've all been through crazy stuff professionally and personally, but
absolutely
nothing like this.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like this. No one in this world has gone through something like this who are living, unless they maybe like the Great Depression years ago, and I'm not sure if people are still around from that, but we haven't. This is the real, I think Cuomo may have said it, Governor Cuomo, that this is like the equalizer because we are all like the same. You know, we are all
and
like
we're afraid of each other.
Yeah, you know, I see I'll say that again.
I said we're afraid of each other.
Oh, wow, that's so awesome. That's something to think about. You know, I go through my timeline in social media, and thank you, Elsa. Elsa says we look fabulous. Thank you, Elsa, for being here. I go through my timeline sometimes and I'm like, yes, these, you know, I have so many people who are connected to me who are doing wonderful things. And they're like, yes, I'm working out. I'm going to lose weight during this time. I'm going to finish all those books. I'm going to, you know, do all of these things. And I'm not sure why my live broadcast has ended, but Facebook, I'm going to like write you letters because there's something going on here. I don't think Facebook likes the fact that we can live stream to Zoom. I'm not sure. Something is happening with that. But I say that, you know, I've been going through my timeline and I see people doing all of these amazing things. They're going to do all this stuff and all of that. And that's great. I'm going to be the first one to cheer people on. But right now, I am really just praying for wellness. And for peace of mind. All of the other things that I can do in my free time or the time that I'm not on the road, traveling or going back and forth to work, those things can happen and they will happen, some of them. But my first priority is staying well and making sure my children, my mom, and my friends and family are good. You know, that's my biggest wish right now.
And that is, well physically, but also, you know, well mentally as they go through it. And especially I feel like for our young people who are very social and are used to being out and about, whether, you know, not just in the simplest of ways. You know, I have a 21-year-old and he's home. And he's a little bored. It's interesting when your young person says, "I'd like to spend some time talking to you." And I was like, "Okay, yay!" You know, but it's because they're not getting that social piece. And so I think some of our conversations with our young people have to be, you know, how are you doing? How are you navigating? You know, not being as active and as social as you want.
And
you know,
as social,
have a mental health talk.
Exactly, because that's a good point. They are this is their era. this is their era. They are social. They have to connect, they have to like connect with one another, see people, all of that. And so I saw that teachers are helping kids with mental health, and parents are helping, teachers are helping parents, and parents are helping their children. And so that's so awesome. So I'm glad to hear that you, your husband, and your son are doing well at this time. So now we're going to get into some other meat and potatoes. Ooh, some other meat and potatoes. So we talked earlier, we're talking about connections and all of that. And, I just want to tell you first that I admire you.
Thank you.
I do. I admire you for your ability to just simply be who you are, and walk in that, and unapologetic. Unapologetic, being unapologetic about who you are and what you want, what you don't want, and how you want things to go is not a negative. It is a positive. And there are some of us who are watching that you're able to stay steadfast and steady in who you are without being so influenced by the outside. You consider everybody, but I still see how you're able to like run our chapter, run your home, run your realtor business and your work there, and still just be who Mia is. Showing up as Mia Anderson every day.
So some of what I do is try to take the stress off of myself and take layers out of things.
Okay.
And some of that for me to be consistently me was deciding what I'm interested in and what I'm committed to.
I love that.
Yeah, because for me,
deciding what I'm interested in and what I'm committed to. Because you could be interested in things, but not necessarily want to be committed to them.
Yeah. I
like that.
So when I'm looking at whether it be an organization or an activity or a task or anything, I try to be like, okay, is this something I'm going to be committed to?
Interested and committed. And I'm taking my own notes.
Okay.
I love that.
But it helps me kind of narrow things and bring it to simple. So that if I've got, the things that are most valuable, I will focus on them. I will do everything for them, for that. And the other things, I will I'll maybe. And I have no shame in saying I am neither interested nor committed. I will not participate.
Yes. So that is so me. I have no problem with like, no.
Hey, my other thing.
One of the things that I've realized so much over this past year is that my time is just as valuable as my money, as anything, my time. And so what I do with that, whether I choose to do things that I want to do, whether I choose to take a nap, whether I choose to just not have something in my schedule, it's my time. And I get to decide how I use it because I don't get it back. And so, yeah, that's really good. But being unapologetically you sometimes comes with challenges, right? I saw Oprah earlier this year in Atlanta, and one of the things Oprah talked about, so if Oprah has gone through this and still goes through this at times, none of us are exempt from it, right? Where people will say, oh, they'll tell you, well, she or he thinks he's all that, or why are you doing that? Or you're always doing something, or blah, 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 like those type of things that some of those words can be misconstrued for being encouraging, but it's really not. Oh, you're always doing something, or something like that. I have learned how to block that stuff out. But for you, what are some of those challenges you have faced for being unapologetically Mia?
So you mean as far as, help me frame it up a little more so I know what I.
So as a woman, A lot of times we do go through different challenges where when we're very ambitious, and you are very ambitious, right? So ambition sometimes comes with challenges because people don't always understand it. Especially it could be like your girlfriends, maybe when you were younger, maybe it's family. You know, what are some of those challenges you face by being so ambitious?
What I think of when I'm doing things and when I'm trying new things and when I'm accepting responsibilities, is I want to better my best.
Better my best. I love that.
Everything I'm doing is about me getting better, about me improving, because, you know, have I had some successes? Yes, but what happened before that was successful, that's kind of historical data. So I need to be moving towards my next success. And so I try to encourage people, you know, you be you, do what you want to do, but this is me. This is my jam. This is what I enjoy.
Yes.
You know, my father was a huge influencer for me. He was a servant leader.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, Mia.
He gave, he was incredible in his commitment to helping everybody he knew, whatever organization he was a part of. He would help them reach their goals. This is an interesting thing that he did. There was a family that had to move. My dad was a broker. After he retired, there was a family that had to move. He was in a position that he could help them. Their house wasn't selling. He bought their house.
Wow.
So they could move because he knew he could sell it. And that's what he did for them. So that's who I watched.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that.
Seeing that makes me willing to go to the ends of the earth for what's right.
I love that. I think you know I have a master's degree in organizational leadership and studied all this great stuff, even, you know, things along the way and all of those things, right? That's so great. And I don't discount my education. That is something that I do not do, nor do I discount the things that I have achieved. I've learned not to water them down, right? But I say that to say that there is nothing, no degree and no mountain of student loans that could have taught me more than my mother has taught me, right? And I also see her as a servant leader. What are those skills that your father taught you that you relate to servant leadership? What are those skills?
So for me, servant leaders are working shoulder to shoulder with the people that they're dealing with. I don't believe it's pointing. I believe that we do need to delegate in order to get things done. You can't touch everything, but there's a value in working shoulder to shoulder. And there's a Bible verse, and when you look at shoulder to shoulder, it translates as one shoulder.
One shoulder.
And that, if you're serving in that way, where you're connected with the people that you're working with, if you've got a team, they have to be motivated. They have to be willing to take action. And so if you're with them and you're getting your hands dirty too, and you're not just taking the glamorous jobs, but as a leader, you know, it's good to let other people shine.
Right.
So that's part of me as a servant leader. I'm like, I'm growing people who can take the lead, so I need to give them room to shine.
It's good stuff.
Be beautiful.
Give them room to shine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a powerful thing.
So standing shoulder to shoulder, bringing that one shoulder together and giving folks room to shine. That's so good. So good. You have to be secure to give people room to shine.
I don't believe in taking credit for things because, you know, maybe the great thing I did was put the right person in the right place, and then they're doing their rock star thing.
That's
and that's them. They're amazing. You know?
Wow. But that also
committee.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Influence, right? You know, that also leads to the fact that knowing which people to put in the right place, being secure in that, but also there is something else that you just mentioned. I can't think of it right now. I cannot think of it, but you just mentioned something that was, it's just so true when it comes to leadership.
Oh, giving people the space to shine?
Giving people the space to shine, like creating that space for them. That's so important. So important. I'm taking my own notes because, as I said earlier, as I do this and do what I love, I get to grow and learn at the same time. I tell you, because I do not have it all together. And you know, hats off to the people who do, but I don't. We don't have it all together. So I will be learning and growing until the day I leave this earth. Yes. So I'm taking my own notes that I can share and go back and read later on. Connections. We talked about connections. We talked about influence. We talked about leadership, servant leadership. What do you seek out for professional development? What are the things that you seek out to do to help keep you going, to keep you learning and growing, like we just talked about? What are those opportunities that you look for?
One of the things that has really helped me kind of in this ever-changing real estate market that we have right now with this global issue is I have worked hard to assemble a team of professionals that I can trust, that know more than I know.
That know more than you know. I love that.
And I have been leaning on them. So, you know, it was incredible that the day they shut down the restaurants, I had a business lunch with a title attorney, and we had set this up like 2 weeks before. It just happened that in this time where this crisis is like blowing up, we sat down and talked, and I got to pick his brain and tell him, explain to me what I need to do to be able to close a sale right now. What are the critical pieces? And so it's kind of a long answer to a very simple question.
That's okay. Yeah.
But I want to talk to the people who know what I don't know. And I actually will say the words, tell me what I don't know that I need to know.
Right. Right. I love that. Yep.
If I can get one-on-ones with like industry leaders, I love that. Let's just talk.
Yeah.
I do attend seminars. There's some podcasts that I think are really valuable as far as mindset. I've been reading this book on resilience. And it's been good, and it's been, you know, I'm always going, so I don't get to sit and read a lot, but I try to build myself up with things that help my mindset, my motivation, that keep me on my methodology. It's like I've got to, you know, everybody always says you have to really take it in and put some, get a bank something so that you can give something back out.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So you have to consume that really good energy and that good content, that good understanding. But you also have to first admit to yourself that you don't know everything. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that we don't know everything. You have to know that you don't know. And I think that is definitely the key, because the moment we stop or we start thinking that we know it all, you're really stagnating your growth. And so I like that, and I like to hear what other people are reading, what they're doing, what spaces are you getting into. You know, I intentionally put myself in spaces, and I want to do more of this as the years go by, the months come by, as I want to put myself in spaces that are uncomfortable for me.
Yes, that is where the growth happens.
Yes, that are uncomfortable in spaces, in areas, in things that, you know, that I know that I'm challenged by. And so I love that. I love that you're intentionally seeking spaces, and I love the word resilience.
So, you know, this is a stretch for me.
I know it is. I know it is. And you are doing an awesome job. I tell you, you're just doing a good old job. Don't even worry. People want to hear things. They need to hear this. I need to hear it. And it's great because you get to talk about yourself. And I like that. And I know that sounds weird that when people say, oh, I don't like to talk about myself. Yeah, none of us really do. But in some ways we have to be okay with promoting ourselves. It's so important. One last thing before we transition from the Mia, the realtor, I want to go into talking about ABWA. But before I do, I want to ask you, women in, like you've seen the statistics, you've seen the numbers. Women are, some women are still getting paid less than some men in some spaces. There's still equity issues that goes on across this country. Talk to me about women in the real estate industry, or equity as it relates to women in the real estate industry, Mia.
I think it's one of the industries where there's a more level playing field. We, we all get to negotiate our commissions, and we negotiate, even negotiate for the space in your office building, and everything. Everything is a negotiation. But I think because we're not set at a salary, we're not set an hourly wage, we have more flexibility and the ability to maybe capture more money than the average woman does. So just as an aside, because I'm in an industry that has a level playing field and I have a voice, I have to advocate for the women who isn't, the women who can't control her pay, the women who's getting taken advantage of. That's the person I need to speak for, because I can.
Yeah.
That for me is big. Because sometimes people are like, oh, why do you really care about that? I'm like, I care about that because I have a granddaughter. I care about that because I have friends. I care about that because I'm a woman in the human race. To take care of everybody else, we got to take care of our own.
We got to take care of each other. That's so important. So important. I love that, because you are in an industry that is an even playing field. So they have to pay you what you're worth. They have to give you the same commission that they give to anybody else. And you don't apologize. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I said, as long as I demand it. There are going to be people that clients, other agents, especially clients sometimes, if you're dealing with somebody with a strong personality, and they want to chew on you regarding your value and what you're worth. And I feel like being a realtor is like a professional negotiator, because it's constant negotiations throughout the entire process. But one of the things I say to my clients who are trying to out negotiate me on my money,
on your own money, right? They're trying to out negotiate
is, if I let you out negotiate me, then how can you trust me to negotiate for you?
Wow. That's a good thing.
So that stops the talk of, we want to pay you less. No, I'm going to stand my ground now, and I'll stand up for you. And then in dealing with other agents, I won't be pushed around.
I won't be pushed around, and as long as I command it.
Correct.
See, that's why I admire you. And do not apologize for that. Don't ever. I won't be pushed around. I love that. That's like a tweetable thing right there. As long as I command it. I just love that. So let's switch gears, and I think that's a good segue to talk about the American Businesswomen's Association and how you, that is definitely, to me, a great advocacy platform for other women, and being able to lift one another up. Mia, talk about what the American Businesswomen's Association is, and then like how long you've been a part of it and what it has done for you.
So the American Businesswomen's Association is a professional development organization.
Okay.
Grow personally or professionally. We're diverse in every single way. And you have the opportunity to learn from other women and give to other women. I've been in the organization for 7 years. My first exposure was through one of my mentors, Claire Hodgkin. She was this very successful real estate agent. took me under her wings. I was doing well, but she said, you can get to the next level. Let me show you how.
Wow.
Yes, that was a woman.
Wait. Another tweetable thing. You can get to the next level and let me show you how.
Yes.
So she wasn't afraid to share what she had learned to make sure that you get to whatever that next level was for you.
So let me tell you what she did. She had an executive suite off-site from the office in Annapolis. She invited me to move in to her executive suite and work with her.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, you can hear, she's like, you know, I was doing well. I really was, but I could do better. I could better my best. She saw I was driven, and she took me in under her wings, showed me everything, showed me every single thing, taught me how to do things better, wasn't threatened by sharing her knowledge. And I'm so proud to be part of her legacy. And I will keep going and keep doing. So she took me, so real estate, she's doing real estate with me. And then she says, you know, there's this organization that I'm a part of that I want you to come and meet these ladies.
Wow.
That's how I came to Maryland Capital.
How long ago was that, Mia?
Oh my gosh. So that was about 6, 7 years ago. So it was good. You know, the first year I was in the organization, I was around it. I couldn't commit the time, like monthly. I couldn't get it there every month. I had a kid in private school playing rugby. I was the teen mom. I'm selling real estate. And,
I remember them days. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 1,000 different things. But I saw the value, and I was like, I'm going to work this into my schedule because. And this was the thing that I said, because I have to do something for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I have to do something for me. So that was my start in UWA. And then I met, you know, Casey Coven and all of these other amazing.
Yeah, I know Casey. You were done after that. That was it.
Yeah, you know, but they.
There was no interest. There was commitment after meeting Casey.
Yes, because you were getting like the meat and potatoes from accomplished women, and that's the thing. When you can walk into a room of accomplished women, okay, there's no frenemies, there's none of that foolishness.
Yes.
Welcome. We can give you this. What do you have to share?
Yep. Here is what we can give you, and what do you have to share with us? Accomplished women. I love that. And accomplished, it doesn't mean that you have like a business. It doesn't mean that you have a great long-term career. It doesn't mean that you are doing all these amazing things in the world. It means that you are amazing in who you are as a woman, and we welcome you into Maryland Capital Chapter. You are amazing. You could be retired or in between jobs, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And that's why I love it. And it took me a while. It took me looking at some folks who modeled some really good leadership qualities to me. You know, really did. Shout out to Lutori Walker down in South Carolina, like she really did. And so, you know, but I think that sometimes some women are nervous about getting involved in groups and stuff like that, because they're like, oh, you know, there's all this stuff. I don't want to be bothered. There's going to be problems. I have not seen any of that. Have you?
No, I haven't. And I'm a member of a number of professional organizations. But I'm so spoiled because I'm at ABWA and I'm with these women who, you know, we're not competing with each other. We're competing with ourselves. Right.
And nobody's trying to sell you everything like every meeting. Nobody's doing that. That's not what it is.
And we're careful, as you know, we're very careful about that, because this isn't a sell to. This is where you come to be enriched, you come to learn, you come to grow, try on new skills, try out new things, and then take them home or take them to the workplace and do it.
And just do it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Because you're going to, I always say that things are going to happen organically. You don't have to force it. And when you force it, most of the time it's either not going to sustain or it's just not going to be good. But you are the president of Maryland Capital Chapter of American Businesswomen's Association. You've been a top 10 woman. What has that meant for you to lead an organization's chapter, a national organization's chapter, and then also to be a national top 10 woman? What has that been? Talk about that a little bit, Mia.
So the position that I move in as president is that it is my job to take care of everybody else. That is my job. And when I bring it to something as simple as that, I can do it very, very well. I have to take care of them. So that's, making sure we're getting our educational component, and that we're enjoying each other, that problems are handled swiftly. So from that whole caregiver perspective, and I know that's a strange thing way to frame up a professional organization and how
not at all.
I'm going to take care of them. And I'll even have conversations in the evening with my husband, and I'll be like, I have to go I'm gonna go make some calls because I have to take care of my ladies. And so that's what that looks like for me. Is it just
that? Doesn't that tie right back though into what your dad taught you?
Yes.
Being a servant leader, but also not over exhausting yourself, because you as we said earlier, you also know that you have to put people into position around you or give them the opportunity to shine. I'm not sure if you strong arm me or what to lead the programs, but a little massaging. But it was great because what happened was like went to breakfast, and that's big for me to like sit down and break bread with somebody. But what you said to me was, hey, this is what programs is, and I need somebody to lead the team. Can you be our team lead? And I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I got this going on my plate, and I have this going on my plate right now. It's like, you can do it, in your Mia Anderson tone, with your Mia Anderson face. You can do it, and I will help you. You'll be fine.
You were meant for that position. Whether you didn't have to know it, I knew it. I'm like, this is like,
you know what, lady?
This is a direct line. Boom. It's that easy.
I was like, lady, come on now. I have so many things going on, and the last thing I want to do is deal with some women in a professional organization. Let me just come to the meetings. Let me figure it out for a little while. And then, maybe. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, wow, this is so in alignment with what I already love. And you knew that.
I've watched you.
Yeah, that's so important. So important. You did good, and you did well.
and I think we talked about this privately, but I've had members when they're talking about my success as a leader, they're like, what you did with programs. I'm like, I know, right? I know. That is my legacy. I will take it.
And I just forged right ahead because you told me I could do it. And that's it. And so I always have that in the back of my mind. Of course, the things we talked about and the things that you told me that you like to see and members like to see and things of that nature. So I have those things in the back of my mind, but I always have in the back of my mind how you leaned over that table and said, you can do this and I'm going to help you. That's it. Yeah. So that's so important. Yeah, so important. American Businesswomen's Association. If anyone is interested in the organization, go on to abwa.org, right? Yeah. abwa.org. You can also contact me or Mia, Facebook, however you see this, send us an inbox if you want more information. When you go online, there is a fee to get started, but there are also folks who may sponsor you. So don't hold back. Wherever you are in this country, there are associations chapters across the country where people may be willing to help you. And so I really think that it is something that could still help people when we're seeing the number like at about 10 million who have applied for unemployment?
Yes.
Mia, how can ABWA help with, say if it was me, and I'm thankful that I do have a job today, right? And I do get to do what I love through my business today, but there are so many who don't. How can ABWA help with people who are facing unemployment, who just don't know, how other things are going to happen for them?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's a safe space
Safe
to
space. Mm-hmm.
but in ABWA, and especially in these troubling times when there's nothing that's a constant, that can be a constant, because it will help you get the mindset, the motivation, and the methodology on how to move forward successfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
The mindset, repeat that.
Mindset, motivation, and methodology.
The mindset, the motivation, and the methodology, so that when you do come at this, out of this, or as you're preparing to move forward, or just to get through life during this transition, you can basically get help with all these things: mindset, motivation, and methodology. And the other thing that's key is you can connect to other women who are either going through or have gone through something extremely similar, or something, or the exact same thing that you're facing. Yeah, that's what I.
That's not just to our chapter, but to chapters all across the country. So that, we have some amazing women in Florida. There was a lady in this area that I had met and connected with, and she was moving to Florida, didn't know anybody. I know some ladies in Florida that you're going to want to know.
Yeah.
And she went down there, they had connected, so she came to a new area, tribe in place.
Wow. Look at that. With a job in place?
A tribe.
A tribe, a whole tribe in place. Look at that, a whole tribe. Now that's important. Ooh, that is important. What does your tribe look like, Mia?
My tribe is full of big hearts. That's what I need around me. People with big hearts, who see things differently. I have one friend in particular, and I will actually say to her, I need you to reframe this for me.
So good.
Because sometimes I can do it, but sometimes I can't, and I'm a little stuck. And she's like my truth speaker, and I can say, reframe this. Help me see beyond what I'm feeling.
See beyond what I'm feeling. That's good.
So I think you have all these little pieces of people, and that's the beautiful thing about a diverse group of women. Diverse group is that you get what you need from different people. If y'all are all the same, to draw on anything new.
Get what you need from different people. That's so true. One of my girlfriends and I were talking this morning, and I was calling her because there was something that was bugging me in that moment. But as the phone was ringing, something said, God said to me, just tell her you love her, because I was getting ready to call her to be able to vent about something that was concerning me. I'm concerned about someone who's close to me who's ill right now. And I started telling her that I love her. And we just started just talking in that, we talk all the time, but we're just talking in that way. And one of the things that we talked about is how, you have people in your tribe who can give you all these pieces, right? Which is great. And I'm so fortunate. I'm like really fortunate in that. That's just, to me, the area that is so important, that helps to lift me. And so, excuse me, and what we said was that how there's people who can give you all of these pieces, and then there's also people who can give you their whole self. Their whole self, and you can give them your whole self. And I have learned to accept it all, like accept either, and not expect everybody to be able to give me their whole self, right? So, you know, as the young people say, everybody don't rock with me, right? So you have to be okay that everybody is not going to be able to align themselves with you. And so I love, 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 you know, how you said that you just have your tribe. You have your tribe, and you sent someone to Florida and they already had a tribe for them waiting because of your connection with ABWA, or you connecting them to the American Business Women's Association. I love that.
That was good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a lot that you're doing, Mia. So you are a realtor, one of the best in Maryland, right? Okay, I'll say that again. You are a realtor. You are a president of a chapter association that's connected to a national organization, a national association. You are a wife. So you have a husband and you have children. You have, right? And so
one son, yes, I
one
have.
son.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
And they're patient and
Uh-huh.
loving, and they help me do the things that are important to me.
Wow.
And it takes patience to have, you know, I'm out working all day, and then in the evening I go to ABWA, or I'm on call for ABWA. I'm on the board of a nonprofit in Owings Mills that serves handicapped people. We have 31 group homes, and we had a med day program. So I'm doing, you know, I got a lot of balls in the air, and I want to satisfy what everybody needs. But if I'm everybody else, you know, my family's got to be on board,
Wow.
and they are. And so
that's so good. I like that. Your family has to be on board. I love that. Ooh, that's so good. You're doing a lot, ma'am. What's your outlet? What do you do for fun?
So I listen to music, you know.
Yes. And I know you like to dance. I know you like to dance.
I dance.
I do.
This office here, my office in Annapolis is a little smaller. I can't dance in there. I sing there. I'm there at 7:30. I can sing till 9. 9, my admin rolls in. I got to stop singing. But I'll dance, I'll sing. Just those are the lighthearted, quickie things that I do. But really to kind of fix me, I dig in the dirt. I'm a farmer.
I know.
I've been gardening since I was 5. At 5, my first tomatoes won a prize. So I've been gardening.
Well, I've been a beneficiary of those great tomato, basil, and mozzarella sticks. So I know with the basil and the tomatoes from your garden. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I really, it does a lot. It does a lot. And then, you know, it was funny because all of this stuff is happening, and and I'm going to say her name, Liz Hostetler.
Yes.
And I said, Liz, I feel like this, you know, and she said, you need to do things that make you feel better. You know what I said to her? I don't know what makes me feel better.
Oh my gosh. But I bet you Liz was able to tell you.
Yes. She said, you love to garden. She said, get back to digging in the dirt. And, you know, obviously it's still super crazy cold, but I was like, it's not too early. So I got out there, and I've been working out there, and I have, you know, I did some cool weather vegetables. I started seeds. So,
well, I'm so excited about that because I can't wait to have some. Yeah. I love fresh, you know, I love fresh veggies, fresh everything. I love that. Ooh, me.
I'm getting the early start. I'm expanding some things. So Farmer Mia is fully active, and it's good for me.
Wow, that's so good. So good. I can't wait to come over and dig with you because I enjoy that. I like to plant flowers and all of that. And when we were growing up, my mother had a garden. And so, yeah, I'll come over and dig with you sometime.
Love that.
When we get a chance. Let's do that. It's a date. It is a date. This has been great. This has been just so wonderful. Talking about doing the things that you love during this time. Thank you, because this is what I love. And, you know, while we're going through everything that we're going through, you know, I have to find those things to do that I love. I got to find a way to do it, because if I don't, then I'll always be like that. You know, we have to find that center. And so I get to do what I love. I got to spend a whole hour with Mia Anderson. If you all kind of tuned in kind of late and all of that, I was talking to Mia Anderson of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and PenFed Realty in Annapolis, Maryland, and she is the president of the Maryland Capital Chapter of American Business Women's Association. I really do appreciate this, Mia. I get to highlight everyday women, right? That where I could bring you all to be able to connect to your community, connect to other people, actually connect to a national space, and in some ways internationally, because the podcast is listened to in, I think, 9 different countries it has been listened to, you know, through the stats that I see. And so it's really good. And I get to offer a space to women to help them level their own playing field, introduce their content, introduce their services and who they are. And so tell people how to reach you. This may or may not be the time where people are talking to realtors right now, but some people may still be interested. It sounds like things are still moving, and how they can contact you in the same space to ask about the American Business Women's Association.
Okay. You can reach me easily at Mia, M-I-A, at Mia Moves, with an S on the end, YOU.com. So Mia at MiaMovesYou.com is really the best way to get in touch with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know, can I give out my cell phone number, or is that weird? Maybe not.
Yeah, I think that'll be weird. Don't give it out on here.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, email me and we can start a conversation. If you have real estate questions, happy to answer them. If you have questions on whether or not this is a good time for you to sell, or real estate forecasting, which what I want to say, if I can take a minute to talk about, you know, where the real estate market is. We came into this situation with pent up demands, not enough homes for people out there that wanted to move. And it is my hope that we will see the same level of energy when we come on the other side, because nothing's really changed. There's not a lot of homes still. So housing is a need that we all have. And I'm here to serve. I'm here to help.
I'm here to serve, and I'm here to help. And I can already tell that that you're already sensitive to the concerns that people have right now. And so I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. Mia at MiaMovesYou.com.
Yes. And, you know, there was something I heard, and I know I gotta let you go, but
that's okay. We can keep rolling.
Okay. In this time where, you know,
sounds like you're getting kind of comfortable with this, you know.
Okay. In a time where, you know, you go to the store and you maybe have a hard time finding bread, right? About this. If I give out in slices, it comes back in loaves. I believe that. I believe that. So even right now, when we feel like we don't have it to give, you do, because you have more than somebody else.
Give out in slices.
Comes back in loaves.
Comes back in loaves. This is a slice. This is a slice. And the slices that I've been able to give have come back in loaves so much for me. That's wonderful. Keep giving your slice.
I will.
Keep giving your slice. You know, I believe that we get to use whatever platform we have to give our slices.
Yes.
Right? Whatever platform that looks like. And right now, we're all like being innovative and creative to figure out, like, okay, what does that look like? And for some of you out there listening, It could mean a podcast interview. It could mean sending somebody a meal of flowers. It could mean putting something on your next door neighbor's step without entering their home, right? Social distance, so important. It could be just giving somebody an encouraging hello right now. And as we said at the beginning of this podcast, don't forget to allow people space to feel. Space to feel. Everyone may not be able to handle this in a, I hate the word strong, like I'm trying to use that word, leave
In a
that word
polished way.
in a polished way. Yep. They may not be able to find their center right away and all of that. And so give people the space to feel. Don't shut people off when they say, you know what, I'm not feeling good about this. I'm feeling a little unsettled. I'm feeling a little jittery. I'm feeling a little anxious. Give people the space to feel right now. I am Yolanda Johnson of Beyond Measure LLC. This has been wonderful. I will post this later on. I'm hoping that people were able to see the whole thing, but I think Facebook is telling me something different. That's okay. You know, I'm going to figure it out. This is what we do. We keep rolling, and I hope you continue to keep rolling. Thank you for listening. If there is anyone out there who is interested, man or woman, in being on my show, don't wait until I'm on the big screen one day, y'all. Contact me now. Don't wait until I'm on the big screen. You can contact me. Yes, because right now this is my screen. And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my big screen. This is my platform that I get to give my slice back. You know, when I think about what can I do right now, how about I just do what I love to do and serve people that way? Is that all right?
Thank you for this, and thank you for being a voice and a positive now. You've done it in the past, but especially now. People need this. Nice job, my friend.
Thank you. And I am not only interested in this, I am committed.
Boom.
Thank you. And so I'm committed to doing more, doing better, bettering my best, and trying to figure out ways how to give my slice more. So thank you, Mia Anderson, for being with me today. Mia, again, can be contacted at mia@miamovesyou.com. I can be contacted at yolanda@leadbeyondmeasure.com. You can find this podcast, Can You See Me, the podcast, on almost all of the listening streams. I'll also post it on Facebook, and I'll advertise it on Instagram and LinkedIn. And so please, please, please listen, give us feedback, and contact me if you'd like to join us. All right, have a good day and great afternoon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.